Welcome back to this edition of Amazon SEO Wars. We're going to take three Amazon listings and put them head to head. They're all in the sports and outdoors category today because it's spring, and this category is seeing a resurgence right now. When it comes to revenue, we're going to look at some really cool products, so stay tuned. The reason for this, the reason that we're looking at listings out there on Amazon, is to see what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, so that you can take those same principles, incorporate them into your listings, or cut those bad things out and make more money on Amazon. I spend about $14 million a year just on Amazon ads. That's all my team and I do. And we look at listings all the time because the listings are actually what predicts the ads performance. Your conversion rate on the listing will, can double or triple the amount that you make from ads because the conversion rate is just higher. So I spend a lot of time looking at listings. I've seen some of the best listings in the world. Let's look at some listings. Um, I couldn't find Peloton listed on Amazon for this video. I think it's because they have a direct-to-consumer strategy that involves circumventing online platforms like Amazon and going D2C, direct-to-consumer. And so, because that's the case, there's going to be another company to step in, fill the void, and sell to consumers on the Amazon platform, and that is Echelon. This is the Echelon Smart Connect indoor bicycle. $500 price point, so pretty hefty price point there, but it's got the things that you would expect from a Peloton, I suppose. I don't have a Peloton, so I don't know in detail, but it's you got the iPad glued to the bike that doesn't go anywhere, and that's what everybody wants these days. That's what the kids are raving about. So, humans have been looking at images forever since our inception. But we've only been reading text for a few thousand years. The human brain processes images 60,000 times faster than it processes text in terms of like if you see it and you know what it means. So we're going to the images first. And this is what consumers will look at as well when they're deciding whether or not to buy our product. And Echelon has done, I would say, a pretty good job here with the images. They're using all the photo slots given to them by Amazon. They're adding some immersive. Um, Actually, let me. You got it. User generated content can be, especially even if it's not professional, and almost especially if it's not professional, can be very convincing when it's on the listing. And last but not least, a new generation piece of tech that Amazon has here are these 360 photos. Amazon needs to bridge the gap between what it feels like to shop at a mall versus what it feels like to shop online. If we think about it, the mall shopping experience is still superior in a lot of ways. You can touch and feel the product. How do you know what this leather is going to feel like when you sit on it for the first time, or these hand grips, or how easy is it to adjust the seat up and down? You just don't know from the listing. It could say easily adjustable seat, but what does it feel like? You don't know, right? And so it's just this is an early version of what Amazon wants to do eventually, which I'm sure will be some sort of virtual reality or augmented reality where you can take products and see what they'll look like in your home. Will they fit? And then the tactile stuff, like the touch and feel of it, is probably going to be last. Or maybe smells going to be last. Hopefully, never. This would be really strange. But yeah, given the tools that they have, pretty decent job. Um, this is a vendor central listing. Fun fact, you can tell because the buy box says ship from Amazon.com, which means it's using the FBA warehousing system. That's all that means. But sold by Amazon means that Amazon is taking control of this inventory. They own the inventory and they're selling it. If it was an FBA seller, like a seller central seller, a third party seller, it would say sold by and then the brand name of whatever the seller was. And it would be a hyperlinked brand name that you could click on. But in this case, if you see doubleamazon.com, it's a vendor central seller on Amazon.com. They have made pretty good use of the parent-child SKUs here. They've got some different options, some different styles, um, and yeah, just some different builds to the bikes. And so you definitely want to, if it makes sense, use parent-child relationships because the reviews can aggregate that way, and it just helps buyers find and buy your products more easily. Let's take a look at the bullets. So on first glance, they're very long. And again, like using the bullets to their full extent is really similar to using all of your image slots. It's like Amazon's going to give you the space, right? So you might as well use it. But remember what we were saying about images versus text. Humans process images so much faster. I would say you've used a lot of your marketing, or conversions budget by making the photos. The bullets, what are they for? Well, you should lead with a benefit at the start of each bullet, but then people don't read much past that, to be frank. And I think it's for SEO, right? A lot of things in the Amazon listing are not really, as much meant to be read by consumers as they are to algorithmically inform Amazon what this product is all about and what keywords it should index for. And so you'll see that there has been an attempt. There was an attempt, right? To explore classes like cycling, rowing, running, hit, kickboxing, strength training. Some of these are a stretch, right? Strength training for a bike is a stretch. Kickboxing, this almost has nothing to do with kickboxing whatsoever. Um, but it's here. Uh, and then some questionable attempts at SEO, like calling out Pitbull, Lady Gaga, and of course Old Dominion. So, look, um, uh, having keywords Old Dominion has left me speechless. Having keywords in the bullets are good. Build your bullets primarily for SEO these days, I would say, right? Because again, it's just people don't read them as much, right? Um, so going down, as a little fun fact as well, if Google Keepa, Keepa, a Google Chrome extension, if you want to see the entire duration of the product's pricing history. So you can tell, as the orange line indicates, this product has been $500 pretty much since it's been listed online. Um, in 2021. So that's totally fine. But sometimes, especially if you have a private label seller, you can paint their history by looking at their pricing. If their price went up, maybe they were low on stock and they needed to slow down the rate of sale, or maybe the product's not that popular and they've kept dropping the price in a downward staircase function. At which point, okay, maybe this is not the best product to sell, or there's blood in the water. I should pounce and make a decision based on that. Or you can see when they're seasonally running sales, which could mean that their seasonally revenue is low. Could mean a number of things, but just piecing this together, this is just one set of data points as you're doing your research on new products, or maybe you're looking at some competitors. Just a kind of a cool tool. Um, this is a little strange. I thought this was kind of weird. Use of enhanced brain I'm on desktop. Maybe this works better on mobile, but for desktop this doesn't quite work. Like, there's too much white space. Pretty good infographics. I like it. Just pointing out, and again, images are, it's so important, right? I think this, it's not an external link per se. I would just be careful about this sort of thing, and even encouraging shoppers to go to any other websites that aren't Amazon. I think maybe if this came up for manual review, this might get the listing flagged and temporarily suspended. Not 100% suspension if it were to be given a manual review, but that's a little bit risque there. I do like what they did in this last part of enhanced brand content. So they basically made the parent-child SKUs come alive a little bit more, right? So when you see something like this, and you're a shopper, the confused mind says no, right? So you'll be looking at these different options, and you're like, well, which one is good for me? They all have weird alien names like EX3 and EX5-S. That doesn't tell me anything about, it's not called the new parent, or it's not called the athlete, right? That's not the model number, so I don't know. It's not guiding me in any particular direction. Which one do I take? Do I just get this one if I like a white color, and so, red, or what's going on exactly? Is it just aesthetics, or is there a functional difference? It's hard to tell, but I think they tried to clear up some of these questions with enhanced brand content, with this sort of checklist: vented racing style, right? Different different devices available. The bottle holder, fantastic. I'm personally most interested in which of these play Old Dominion, but that's just me. A lot of user generated content, you know, including privacy issues. Ouch, 3 out of 5. Yeah. So it's the listing is always important, but especially it helps to have a lot of reviews and user generated content for something of this price point. This is more of in serious consideration. You're not just spending this on a whim. You're going to think about it. You're going to do your research. I think the amount of consumer research required pretty much increases in lockstep with the price point. Just something to keep in mind. Right? Let's go to the next one. Nordic track. Okay. And I want you to notice the differences in the use of photos here. Okay. So we had these, and you got to put your first photo on white to be Amazon compliant. It's the product on a white background. Nothing else is allowed. So fair play. So these listings start equal to each other. Right. There's not a whole, maybe you could try them in a different configuration or what have you, but there's not a lot that you're going to be able to do with this beyond what you see here. However, where these two listings start to diverge is that this has the product from different angles, some detail emphasis. You're seeing some different looks, right? But the photos stay pretty static. It's this female model lifting, doing the flies, doing the rows, and then you have a male model, bicep curls, and an overhead press, and that's it, right? So the first thing that's wrong with this is they don't use the whole photo slots. There's also no video. If this seller has 360 video available, it also was not used. Whereas look at all of this media space utilization. The second thing I'll point to is that these models could have been in a lifestyle setting, and that would have been better. Lifestyle images imply a bunch of benefits to the buyer without actually saying a single word. What does this imply as a benefit? This basically says, hey, the bike is in your house, right? So I'm going to tell you how to use it. It's not in a gym, which means benefit number one, you can probably get a fast workout in during the day, i.e., getting fit, getting to your fitness goals is not going to be as much of a hassle as you might have thought because it's in your house and it's going to be super easy. There's even a cup of coffee there. You stay hydrated, stay inside, just walk over in the living room. Right, it's bright. It's during the day. It's not taking time out of your schedule. The house is clean. It's orderly as well. There's a lot that's implied visually. There's a visual language to this. And then what do we get here? Nobody's going to actually be doing this unless you're some sort of psycho that has an all white room with some weights in it. This is not realistic, right? And maybe you are, and maybe you're an Old Dominion fan as well. I just that's to each their own. But they had a chance to imply a benefit with a lifestyle background here, and they did not do it. The other thing too is that you don't need a crazy elaborate photo shoot to do this. If you have this image prepared that they shot, it looks like they shot it with a model, which is great. You can have this photoshopped by a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork. You can have this photoshopped with a lifestyle background. You could put this guy in a living room, for example. If you put him in a background like this, it would probably do more for sales on Amazon because people go, you don't have to make them guess, right? They go, oh, okay, that's okay. So the Nordic track dumbbells, they'll fit right in my living room. It'll be easy, or they'll go in my home gym in my garage, and I'll be able to get a workout in, and I'll have my college body back again in no time. It's going to be awesome. But it's easier to imply that, and it's easier to sell that dream, that vision for the benefit of the product if there's lifestyle in the background. If it's just sort of sterile like this, buyers have to make up their own mind about what the benefit is, and that you're not helping folks come to that conclusion. Um, and again, it's not. This is way too little media utilization for what the price point is, right? You know, uh, every image helps. Doesn't hurt. It's free to do, right? Um, Bullets a little bit short as well. I don't see a ton of SEO put into this. Like you'll see some stabs at it here. Strength training, yoga, Pilates, right? Hit, climbing endurance. There could certainly be more. Like I don't see like at home workouts, working out, fitness keywords. I don't see those. Um, but yeah, but these are especially sparse. So lack of character text utilization, and then also in addition to that, um, just not the SEO isn't there, right? So let's just look at. I'm just curious to see. And again, this is a vendor central product as well, I believe. Yes, yeah. So it's double Amazon, so it's vendor, and so yeah. I mean, um, vendor central sellers sometimes have issues updating the content, so I do understand if that was the case here. Um, Nice enhanced brand content, though. I think they're, uh, you know, yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. There are they've Amazon's always publishing new enhanced brand content modules that you can use, and there are some carousel type ones where you can swipe through. You can click photos now and go to a specific listing if you're mentioning a different listing. I think it's it's pretty good now, and so I think this is it's perhaps a little bit older. Um, an interesting sort of thing that I've noticed between these two, and it could I think it's especially prevalent in fitness, but you could do this for your product as well, is that these physical products have software components. There is a here there's music available, and there's instructionals available in the bike, and with these guys it looks like they do have some training courses as well that are available, right? And it doesn't need to be this crazy fancy app. You could add a digital component to your product with something so simple as a Google Drive of informational videos, or a YouTube playlist of informational videos. Just supplement and bring your physical product alive with the digital side of things. I'll give you another crazy example. Like I bought a body weight scale a couple years ago on Amazon, and the body weight scale, the way it measures you is with an app. So you turn on the app, you step on the digital scale, and then the on your phone it'll give you your weight, your body fat percentage, and a graph of the changes over time, sort of to monitor your weight and all that stuff. And inside of that app, they're trying to sell me other fitness products as well. It's crazy. So it's another way to retain customers, to engage them, to make sure that they don't forget about the brand name. And to their credit, that the name of this scale company that I bought from, I do remember the brand name. I can't say that for many, companies that I bought products from on Amazon before. Is that but because they sort of have me in their ecosystem digitally, the physical product actually, has a chance at selling, or selling more from that company. Last but not least, we got the VEIC, or VEICK, resistance bands. Now these guys hit it pretty hard. Okay. Um, this is a newer product. The review ratings are lower than our other two friends here, but my goodness, they are they're hungry for success. And yeah, so one thing that I love in terms of infographics or images for product listings is an us versus them comparison. This is a little. I would do a straight line down the middle to thematically divide us versus them. That's the only thing I would really change here. But other stuff is inferior. It's bad. It smells weird. And us, we do these things. And again, you might want to the visual language of it. This is in green, and green usually means go. It means growth, and it means good. So I would probably put um, their other products with a red background and ours with a green one, right? Just to make it visually as simple as possible, right? There's a comment. There's a reason that the traffic lights everywhere are there's green means go and red means bad. I would probably do a light shade of red here and a light shade of green here, or maybe this same shade of green. um, Green is a very trustworthy color, as is blue. If you notice, most banks will use green, blue colors of that sort because they need to be trusty and reliable. There's a I did a grade school project on color psychology, if you can't tell. Um, we've got some more images. Now they're not just going for one image; they're going for the 4-in-1 with the lifestyle images. Pretty good, right? I Again, you might want to put more stuff in the background. This is probably still better than a sterile a straight up on white photo shoot style, because it's kind of cool. It's sort of urban looking, right? So maybe that's what they're going for here. But yeah, for the young professionals or something like that. But yeah, a chart to set expectations is, the more information you can give people up front, the more it'll reduce reviews. If you have important specs information, I would make an image like this instead of trying to get in the bullet points. I've never found that I can fix a communications problem with customers by changing the bullet points, which tells me that they're just not reading it. So the bullets, again, we're going to go for SEO value on the bullets. And if there's anything important that I need to communicate, I'm going to make a photo about it. I'm not going to make a bullet point about it, because especially if it's like the third or fourth bullet point, people aren't reading that stuff, right? But if they aren't reading it, but they're there, again, we're going to use it for SEO. um, this is a little bit questionable because these bands are so different than each other. I would watch out for this. I would not necessarily do uh, maybe these, because they look in terms of form factor, they look a little similar, but the thin ones, I'm not sure. Right? There's obvious benefit to pooling all these things together, but a seller was fined $600,000 for pairing things up and sort of abusing this parent-child feature. I believe it was Nature's Bounty. It was a supplement company. $600,000 fine from was it the FTC? It was a U.S. governmental body, but yeah, not a feature to be abused. I like the addition of the coupon. We have found that dollar off coupons work slightly better than percentage off coupons, because a dollar is a dollar, right? And a percentage is, you know, don't make me do math sort of thing. It's unclear. This is an FBA product. This is the first one that we've seen as an FBA product, because again, we got Amazon, but we got the brand name that's clickable. Um, without any worries of wear and tear, keep that in mind as we look at the reviews really quickly at the end. Multifunctional resistance bands. You don't. There's no bonus points for including the same keyword over and over again. It doesn't provide any additional SEO benefit. Let's say if you have the same thing over and over. This might confuse. I mean, I'd like to think that the bots are smart enough to separate by comma, for example, but I would just watch the punctuation as well. This I don't know what's up with the punctuation. It's very strange, but that's a smaller thing. Yeah, I don't know. Just if ChatGPT, just put ChatGPT can write your bullets for you, especially if you give it just do some keyword research and know the probably 10 to 15 keywords that you want to be included in the listing, and then just have it write the bullets for you. Honestly, just say include these list of 15 keywords that you have to hit, and provide me with 5 Amazon bullet points, with each bullet point being no longer than whatever 250 bytes. Send, right, and it'll give you perfect bullet points without any of these questionable grammatical errors. Uh, right, here's the carousel stuff that I'm talking about. Oh, all right, not a little strange. This is the visual equivalent of the strange spacing earlier. Re- resistance ants. um Special latex, right? And again, I mean, look, this is it may or may not be a stock image, but they've sort of brought it into the brand visual style. Right, perfect, right? You don't want to make people guess what it can be used for. You want to show them, right? And so hey, are you a busy working professional? Great, goes right on the table. Are you doing workouts outdoors, and maybe you want help with your pull-ups? Great, here it is. Cool, at home, bring it to the gym with you, right? It's good. Just don't make people guess. Um, and the wear and tear, right? I mean, my goodness, I'll end on this because it is in some ways the most important. There's a flywheel that's created by superior product quality. If you have just what is obviously a better product than than other people, you'll get great reviews, which means your click-through rate goes up, which means that your the number of people on your listing goes up, and those people buy, and then those people leave a review, and then those reviews increase, and then you get more click-throughs, and then you get more sales and more reviews, and you see how that spins, right? Something like this, a literal, sort of break in the product, can cause a lack of sales, and then and then it spirals the opposite way, right? But so that's why, if you really have to work on one thing, and I know it's the toughest thing to work on, it's the physical product engineering of it, right? Everything else becomes much easier when you have that great multiplier effect of a fantastic physical product. Now, to be fair, most people seem happy with it. Maybe this buyer got a the short end of the stick or something, whatever they say when it comes to his batch of bands, right? But maybe it's a product quality issue. But again, there's that flywheel that the ads don't matter unless the listing is great, and that's what produces the conversion rate on the listing. But in turn, the listing doesn't matter if the product isn't good. So it all starts with the stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I also will drop a free book in the comments of this video. It is my years of experience selling on Amazon, helping sellers sell tens of millions of dollars in revenue over the years. Stories from that. Just if we've learned a lot in spending the $14 million a year that we do on Amazon ads and helping hundreds of sellers. So if I can save you a little bit of time in that regard, I certainly will. This has been Patrick from Asteroid X. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.